The curse of Tutankhamun, the Pharaoh of Egypt. The Pharaoh's curse is the belief that anyone who violates the mummy of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh will fall under a curse, from which the victim will soon die. Tutankhamun, nicknamed King Tut, was a young Egyptian pharaoh who died at the age of 19 as a victim of blood problems that affected his bone structure, and the main cause of his death was malaria, which scientists have now discovered. According to Egyptologists, he was the son and son-in-law of Akhenaten and the son of Kia, his father's secondary wife. King Tut died in 1324 BC at the age of 19, leaving no heirs, and his reign as pharaoh lasted only 9 years. Approximately 1,500 years before Christ, in the famous Valley of the Kings, the pharaohs were buried with a king's ransom, ivory, ebony and gold. Each tomb was camouflaged by the sands of the arid Egyptian desert, thus remaining hidden for many years. But when archaeologists arrived centuries later, they found only the bones of the pharaohs. Discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. On the third day after the start of the new and final season's excavations in search of King Tutankhamun, Carter found a stone stairway leading to a hidden entrance stamped with an ancient seal, the hallmark of Egyptian royalty. Carnarvon was having tea with his daughter, Evelyn Hebert, at their castle in England, when he received a telegram from Carter, saying that he had found a magnificent tomb with a seal still intact. While Carnarvon was already on his way to Egypt, something terrifying happened to Carter. According to Patricia Leatham, Carter lived alone, and to keep him company he had bought a canary, and shortly after finding the tomb, he went home. And found one of his servants running towards him with a handful of yellow feather in his hand saying, "My lord, I heard a noise, and when I saw a cobra was eating the canary, this is a bad omen, this it's bad luck." Carter said, "Don't be silly, just make sure the cobra is no longer inside the house." The first entrance to the tomb of Tutankhamun occurred after 3 millennia. On November 26, 1922, Carter found a second entrance that led to another room. In this room there were marks showing attempted break-ins by thieves. 2 gangs of thieves would have already entered. There are traces that one of the 2 packs was caught, and they were caught in the act and had their heads cut off. Present at this first entry were Lord Carnarvon, his daughter, Evelyn Hebert, Carter, and his aide. The whole room sparkled and all that glittered was gold. Petrified Carter was absolutely certain that he had found King Tut's tomb. No pharaoh was ever found in such perfect condition as Tutankhamun. It is the greatest discovery in history, according to Thomas Hoven. Carter said they took a look and then left, but the evidence suggests they didn't. Hoven gave his opinion: the license that Carnarvon and Carter had did not give them the right to enter found tombs without the presence of an antiquity authority from an Egyptian organization. They never said that they had entered, but they waited and stayed inside seeing wonderful things. They sealed the hole they made in the wall and waited 3 days until a manager from Cairo arrived and left with them. The first death attributed to the curse. Carnarvon, the financier of the expedition, had originally come to Egypt for health reasons. This decision was truly fatal. In the spring of 1923, Lord Carnarvon accidentally cut himself with a razor while shaving. The cut was on top of a mosquito bite that had been given to him days before, when he was still on the expedition. The wound did not heal, and days later on a trip to Cairo, Carnarvon was ravaged by fever. His secretary sent Howard Carter the bad news saying that the mosquito bite Carnarvon took had become infected. In fact, Carnarvon's painting was irreversible and he died. The death of Cheryl Manson, art history student. Cheryl and her husband, Gary Manson, went on a tour of Egypt. Cheryl touched the paint on the walls of Tutankhamun's tomb. He hadn't imagined that touch would be the cause of his death days later. 3 weeks later, the Mansons were in Pennsylvania, United States. Cheryl felt unwell and had to be hospitalized. His lungs were compromised, and doctors suspected that symptoms of Hodgkin's disease had recurred. About 2 days later, the doctors ruled out this possibility, beginning to suspect that it was another problem with the lungs. The doctors couldn't find out, because Cheryl's condition was getting worse so fast that they decided to do a lung biopsy. From the secretion of the victim's lungs, the fungus that caused his death, Aspergillus niger, was detected. After this it happened that the first 2 were followed by 2 more sudden deaths. A companion of Howard Carter, who helped him enter the tomb, and another companion who helped remove the king's contents were the next victims. This video is just a summary, and of course many things were left out. Don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to our channel, and until next time.